finally means coming to an end.
Vocabulary refers to knowing the meaning of words and is critical to successful reading comprehension. Building vocabulary involves teaching your learner how to figure out the meaning of words while reading. It also requires selecting and studying the meanings of individual words and parts of words. It's important to relate these vocabulary words to learners' current and prior experiences to help cement them in their word bank.
Here is the word karmic.
For direct instruction of general vocabulary, you might decide to teach several new words each week. When deciding which words to select from texts to pre-teach to your learner, keep in mind the following types of words that are particularly useful and can include words in the news, difficult or unfamiliar words, signal words, words not well defined by context, words that reinforce word learning strategies, prefixes and suffixes, compound words, high-frequency words.
We've been working on really just learning about new cultures and human interest, meeting new people through text. We're part of this whole community that happens through words on the page. And so there's a pretty fascinating story. You know, I think we selected it last time. What I've done is I've pulled out some words that we want to focus on for vocabulary, just knowing the meaning of those words. You're going to do some scanning of words that strike you, that maybe you would like to really learn and get grounded in what the meaning is.
Okay.
All right, so this particular book, you know, we are meeting in a library, but this actually isn't a library book. This is a book that we can write in and do with what we please and keep it at home. So why don't you go ahead and brush your eyeballs lightly across the text, scan the text, and see if there are words that pop out at you that look difficult or unfamiliar.
Okay.
Okay, very good. So let's take a look at what you've selected here. Do you know what this says?
Burmese jungle.
Very good. Do you know what a Burmese jungle is?
It reminds me of rainforest.
So this word Burmese, I think is a good vocabulary word because we're going to learn the meaning of that, okay? All right, what else did you highlight here, Janine?
Superstitious.
Nice reading. What does superstitious mean? Do you have any guesses?
A lot of people are superstitious on certain, like going underneath a ladder, and they're afraid something bad's going to happen, so they avoid doing that.
That's great. You know, that's a great example of superstition. But it sounds like, you know, you were able to read it really well and then give a nice example. So, you know, that's pretty strong vocabulary I'm seeing, Janine. Good for you.
I need to Should I go down?
Yeah, what else did you select? I'm so curious.
Karmic.
Karmic, very good. Nice reading, by the way. Do you know what karmic means or have some guesses about that?
The base word I'm thinking is karma.
Okay.
But it's karmic, so.
We're going to take a closer look at what karmic means. It has a pretty fabulous meaning. We'll find out about that. All right, what else did you select here, Janine?
Oh, nourishment.
Nourishment. And what comes to mind? I mean, you decoded it beautifully yet again, and so you have that aspect of the word down pat. What comes to mind when you hear the word nourishment?
A lot of times you hear how we're talking about people that are not nourished enough, so unnourished. So, like on TV. So it has to do with your nutrition.
Yeah, it really does. So that's a fabulous place to start. We can look at it very specifically. It also has, I notice, MENT on the end, and we've looked at words that end with ment. So Oh, it's going to be some study time for that one too. So,
I just noticed that word.
okay, do you want to highlight it?
Yes.
Tell me about this word. What do you notice about it? What do you think it says?
It's just nar, N-A-R.
Nar. So this is
Narcissism.
beautiful. Say it again.
Narcissism.
Okay, it's narcissism. Isn't that a good one? Okay, so it ends, repeat after me, sism.
Sism.
Narcissism.
Narcissism.
Beautiful. Have you heard narcissism? What comes to mind when you hear narcissism?
When people are behaving badly and they're like narcissists.
So we're going to focus on narcissism too.
Teaching learners the meaning of unfamiliar words in a text before asking them to read it not only builds their vocabulary, it also boosts their comprehension of the reading material. When deciding which words to select from texts to pre-teach to your learner, keep in mind that some types of words carry more vocabulary building power than others. These are the best words to work on with your learner. Developing background knowledge and a strong vocabulary is key to reading well. For this reason, it's important to explicitly and regularly focus on vocabulary development with your learner. You've seen a tutor do quite a bit of talking when explaining a new strategy. During most lessons, you and your learner would be equally talkative.